Good morning, everybody. Doing a little vinyl finds this morning. Up too early, got nothing to do. Hope you all having a good week. Trying to get some videos out here and get some records put away. This is some new stuff that I've got. First thing I got is 2024 Silverado. This is a new album. Came out a couple weeks ago. If you know who Mike and the Moon Pies are, this is them. They had a problem with their own name. I don't remember. It was like they couldn't get a copyright or something. I'm not sure, but so they changed their name to Silverado. This album is really good. If you're into like Americana, like it's got some country tinges. I mean the vinyl is beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. It's got a little like 70s like easy listening, but like the guitar work is crazy. Check it out on Spotify. Really good album. I very much enjoyed that album. Next, I got this a couple weeks ago when I went to Raleigh. It's Fraser and DeVault. I heard about these guys through Headley. Not another man, not another fat man playing records, talking about records. Where I find a lot of stuff because that dude just is brilliant when it comes to this style of music. This is like folk country with a tinge of psych. It's a pretty interesting album. I really enjoyed this album. I thought it was very good. They're from Canada. Henry had talked about one of their other albums a couple videos ago, and I was like, if I see any of that, I'm gonna pick it up. And just happened to see this at a record store. I think I'm trying to think like it what would remind you of? I don't know. You should check it out though. Really good album. All right. Next we have self-titled by 49 Winchester. They wax. What's it called? Heady Wax Fiends reissued their first three albums that were not, and their new album, but that were not on vinyl. So, and they're one of my favorite bands, so I really wanted to get those. This album's really good. You know, it's their first album. Their newer stuff I think is written way better, but not a bad album at all. Next we have Catman by Sherman Hayes. Another album I had heard about from Headley. It's got some, falls in that country funk, got stuff from the early 70s. Most albums that have country funk, it's a little mix of everything. It's got like, a couple of songs that are a little funky, a couple of songs that are slow, and just 70s, straight up 70s country. But I mean, this is a pretty good album. Like, and you can see the covers beat, but I've never seen a copy, and when you see something you don't want it, you gotta grab it. So, all right, next we have Zach Top, Cold Beer and Country Music. Zach Top is this came out this year, so this album. So you can see that better. This album came out this year, and Zach is he's doing like 90s country music. Like when I say 90s, like it sounds like in the 80s, 90s. This sounds like Keith Whitley singing in the 90s to me. Like, his voice is great. The lyrics, I mean, written like it was written in the 90s. It sounds like it's in the 90s. This, if you're into those years of like country music, this is what you've been looking for a long time. I'd love to go see him, but he's on tour with Lainey Wilson, and I'm not paying that price on tickets. he's if you have not heard this, check it out, man. Go on Spotify, check that out. That's a cool album. Next, we have Concrete Blonde's first album. I'm a big fan of Concrete Blonde. Ever since I heard, what's the name of that song? What's their big song? I'll remember it, but this album is really good. They write some dark, gothy lyrics, you know. This album is, I think this album came out in 85, 86. Very good album. They did a song. They did a, jeez, my brain's not working this morning. Leonard Cohen song, Everyone Knows, on that soundtrack for Pump Up the Volume, from like a movie from the late 80s. And I always love that cover. But Joey's the song they did. I love that song. But I love her voice, and you should. I say this about everything, but if you're into like that 80s stuff, you might enjoy this. This was a dollar pickup I found in a bin. Leroy Ernst, the man. Really, really good, like 70s R&B. Got a little funk to it. I'm into that funk, you know. I like that stuff. Nice pickup for $1. And I mean, I love that picture. It's really cool. Next we got Dan Seals, San Antonio. Another one I picked up for $1. Dan Seals, 80s, straight up 80s country. He died in I believe in the early 2000s. Great. If you're into like that, you know, Randy Travis, like that 80s, early 80s, George Strait, like this is a great album. And most of his stuff around that time was really, really good. Next, we have Wizards of the South Side. This is a blues comp. It's got Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Sonny Boy Williamson, Bo Diddley, Little Walter, Johnny Lee Hooker. Anything I find that had old blues, I buy if it's cheap, because I love this years of blues. I just thought it was killer. And this is pretty good. It's Chess. It says Chess Records on it, but I believe it's on. It says distributed through Sugar Hill. It's very good. Next, I got Chip Taylor, Some of Us. 70s country. Anytime I see a Chip Taylor album, I pick it up. He came back in like I think the late 90s, and he had some really great stuff. I like this early stuff. I had found like a thing online. It was like 100 albums that made outlaw country, and one of his albums was in there. And I grabbed it. It was really good. So if I see any of his stuff cheap, I grab it. Next, we got Love It, Pontiac. I looked for this album for a long time. I have a couple of his others. It's on that Curb, Rainbow. I think this is his best album. Beautiful album, beautifully written. I think it's got like Vince Gill and Emmylou Harris doing background vocals on it. Yeah, I got lucky and found it. I was going through some records at a record store, and it was in the pop section, high end. I think I paid like $18 for it. I couldn't get it in my hands quick enough. And last, what I've been listening to on the radio here, Judd Strunk. He was a folk artist from Maine, country folk artist from Maine. I mean, this album on Curb Records. He played his banjo player. Apparently in Maine. I'm from up that way, and I never heard of him, but he was a legend in the folk community up there. I mean, this album had some great steel playing on it. You know, it was pretty good. It was $1 pickup. I'll take a chance on stuff sometimes, and I was pretty happy with it. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm listening through some more. I got a bunch more back there to work on, so I'll probably see you in a couple days.